Hello and welcome to this playthrough of Factorio, where I am building a megabase on Earth. I am using a mod, Cities of Earth, focusing on the Old World Hemisphere. My goal is to reach 10,000 science per minute with a rail-based design. The resources are set to maximum size and density, and biters and pollution are turned off. The mod list is shown in the description, as well as a link to my Twitch channel, High Speed. Please come visit me there. Questions and comments are welcome. Thank you for watching. Hello. Let's get after it. As I recall, what I was doing here was updating all of these because they were using the wrong unloader design. Actually missing a belt. I've got bots. It's this one. Why do bots behave this way? Doesn't make sense. Logi bots won't do this. The con bots do. Need to break it. Yes, you gotta do that. Yeah. Might as well just put this down here and deal with that. All right, so that's been refactored. So, what's left now is research. What I'm going to do next is come down here to research. Very unhappy in hindsight with what I did, but I did it. So this is where I am. I should get all that picked up. I should have the stuff to fix this on me. Hi, Zoe. 4 p.m. was my goal. It's 4:38, so I'm a little behind schedule. It's a Sunday. Now I have to be careful with all these research because they use a design I don't have blueprints for anymore. So I have to kind of like locally hack it. So this has got 4 unloaders. So I need to convert this one. Well, Zoe, you and I are on the same page, right? This is the 1-year anniversary of me being a full-time streamer. Coming up here on now. And it's looking like I have to go get me a job. And it's not what I wanted to do. Sorry, Todd. Well, actually, Todd, with my skill set, there's not really a problem finding a job. All I got to do is go into LinkedIn and say, looking. And, yeah. I got another issue with Stacker here. Hey, Zendros. Yes, and that I am. That I are. I are. Well, wait. I probably should move these green circuits around. Bugger off. So what are you going to do with this if you get it? Huh? You gave it back to me. Okay. Twit. Well, I don't have mastery over... Yeah, I don't have anything... I don't have a special skill that other people don't have, that's for sure. But I have a willingness to work, which is apparently a big deal. And I have experience, which is apparently a big deal. Hi, Airbus. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Saturdays and Sundays I don't tend to post it in the announcements in Discord like I should. Let me do that. Normally on Sundays I do a non-Factorio game, but I am very much entranced by this MegaBase. And so... Yeah, Airbus, I've changed it a couple times to make it a little more obvious. And I may do it again. I might fill it in with some sort of yellow or gold. I tried to use just basic Factorio colors, but that doesn't quite work. So... Alright, so that fixes those stackers. So basically, well, it's still broken up here. Anything that has a double loader needs a double stacker. And I didn't realize that. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of copper laying around here. So the stream machine, that's cool. Hi, Longboy. Oh, Airbus, that's very cool. Thank you very much. Llama Boy has a gift sub now. Welcome to the subscribers world, Llama Boy. I'll do better things for subscribers in the future when I figure out the coding. How much fuel is in here? It's still full. Wow, they've actually started to put a dent in this. Not much of one. I think this is disabled. Pretty much. Airbus, if I had bandwidth to improve it, I would. And, knowledge. I mean, what am I going to do? Go search on the internet for an icon for subscribers? I don't even know what to do. To be honest, I think you're the third person to mention it, and I never really thought about it. Hi, Falsa. So I will add it to my list of things to do. Yes, Airbus, this is my full-time job for a year now. I got fired January 12th of last year, and I've been doing streaming evenings pretty much regularly, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. for like a month before that. And the company had trouble, so they let me and about, 20% of the workforce go. They laid us off, but I mean, if you're the person who's selected for the layoff, you're fired. And I have enough savings I had to do this for a while, and I wanted to see if I could do it. I did the math. There are other people who are doing it who are successful. By the way, this is what happens when you replace a steel chest with a wooden chest and it's full of copper. And then you do that a few times. It just spills everywhere, and it's fantastic, and I love it. Now I'm not going to clean it up. Yeah, unfortunately, Airbus, it does not bring in enough income yet. I need about 500 viewers a day to cover my costs. So I gave myself a year. The year's up, so I'm gonna find either something part-time or work a full-time job and stream from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. weekdays, and then weekends stream longer, which I'm fine with. I mean, I'm actually really thrilled to have found something that I absolutely love to do, which is streaming. It's going to sound odd, but I can do pretty much anything I set my mind to. I'm smoking. And so it's been a real challenge in my life to stick with one thing and to say, I love this thing, right? And I want to focus everything I can on doing this one thing. So do a little of this, do a little of that. But here I found something where, yeah, this is what I love to do, and I'm going to focus on doing this. And I know I can get to 500 viewers or more because I've looked at what other people who have this kind of viewership do, or have this, who play this or do the streaming thing. And there's no magic formula that I can see. It's show up every day, provide quality content, and people will watch. And over time, you accumulate watchers and followers, and that's what builds your customer base, and that's what builds your advertising revenue, and that's what builds your income stream. But I look at people who've got 200, 500. I look at people who've got 100 viewers. What are they doing that I'm doing differently? They're here every day. Or, you know, on a regular basis. So that's my focus. I'm going to be here as much as I can. Yeah. That's good that you found something you love. Well, thank you. Okay, so I think I'm taking care of all the stacker issues on the north side. So if I end up with full-time job, I'll stream part-time to keep growing the customer base. If I can find a part-time thing that covers my costs and lets me still stream more, I'll do that too. The biggest thing I've got as an issue is that I've been fired from my last 3 jobs. So obviously I'm not cut out for working in corporate America, even small. I've been with massive companies, Ford, IBM, Toshiba. I've been with, what are the odds that I would be here at this time? I've been with public sector, university. I mean, I even get fired from a government job. You gotta. Software engineering. I'm a computer software engineer, and as you can tell from my Factorio playing, I'm pretty good at figuring things out. And I like the operations side of it. But I really do have the, yeah, what do you need me to look at? What do you need me to learn? And I'll do it. Yes, Centros. Well, I'm not an asshole, but I do speak up. And when management says, well, the one thing that caused me problems was an example was, hey, we need you to if there's an hour or two a week that you need to put in extra to make a project, you know, that's casual overtime. You don't necessarily need to be trying to put that on everything. And I would go, well, if there's casual overtime, does that mean there's casual undertime where we just leave early and you still pay us? And after that meeting, I had a vice president go, John, can I talk with you privately? So, you know, because I will speak out to people who are being taken advantage of, and I will support those people, even to the point where and I'm also the guy who in a meeting will ask the stupid question, because I know other people are thinking that question, but they don't have the wherewithal, the self-confidence to ask that question themselves, because it comes down to the speaker isn't being clear. And I listen to what they say, and I go, you're not being very clear on that, so I'll ask some stupid questions. And, yeah, and that's the thing, Airbus. Yeah, I know. That's the thing, is that I have no problem getting hired at these companies. And, yeah, I could make that software, and I probably need to be in an industry where quality is the absolute pinnacle of everything that company does, right? But there's also the mindset that I have now. I have a dream. I have a vision. I have a passion now. 2 years ago, I was just like, yeah, I'll work for somebody else and do what it is that they need to be done. I'll help them make their dream happen. But motherfucker, I love doing this now. My body temperature just went up by degrees just by saying those phrases. I've never had that. I've never had this is what I want to do. It's always been, that's cool. I can do that. And so the part that's actually prevented me from clicking that little toggle on LinkedIn, how do I go to work for somebody and help them achieve their dreams when it's not my dream anymore? And I talk to a couple of, I have mentors. On Tuesdays, I talk to mentors and I mentor other people Tuesday nights. That's one of the reasons I don't stream on Tuesdays, is because it's mentor day for me. Either I'm helping somebody with their career or life, or they're helping me with mine. And I've been doing that for decades. So Tuesdays has always been mentor day. And so, well, that was close. My mentors, two of them said pretty much the same thing. Find an organization that you identify with the values, and you will find yourself comfortable in working there. It doesn't mean it's going to be your career. It just means you align with them for now, and you're going to work with them for now. And most of my mentors nowadays are retired. So they don't have to work, and so their mindset is different. And that aligns with where I am as well. So I don't have to work. I can just make things work for me. So I'm pretty sure that's what my mindset is going to be, but I'm also not the kind of person who's going to jerk somebody around. Why aren't you working? Plastic. Why isn't plastic being delivered? Why isn't coal being delivered? I'd say I need another coal train. Geez, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah. Sorry. Buzzed out there. So, for example, I have an old laptop from one of my contracts, and today I just reflashed it and put it back to Windows 10, and I was setting it up because that's what I'll use for work, for interviews, for Zoom and Skype meetings and stuff for the interviews that'll come up. So I'm preparing. Oh, that's what I'm going to say. I don't like to waste people's time. So one of the things that when I got fired, it was like, well, hey, just go collect unemployment, because, you know, unemployment is a few $100s a week, and, you know, it'll cover the mortgage or something like that. The thing of it is, the rules for unemployment in North Carolina, where I live, say that you have to be willing to go on interviews and have to be willing to work, take a job. And because I was promising myself that I was going to give this a year of my full effort and do this, I knew I would not take another job. And people are like, well, you know, just go on the interview anyways. Everybody does it. You know, that's the game. I'm like, well, that's not me. I can't do that. I can't go into somebody's office and waste their time and say, yeah, I'm interested in what you're doing, when I'm not. That's just, I can't do that. So I won't. So I passed up a few $1,000s of money over the past year by not being willing to play the game. Because my character doesn't allow me to do that, and I'm fine with that. When I had my own consulting business, you know how antivirus well, thank you. Zoe, a tangent there. Linux recently, this PC that I just reloaded to Windows 10, it was locked to the company's network. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, just keep that laptop because we're not gonna refurbish it or reuse it. So you can just, yeah. And then I go and try and install Windows on it, and it goes, it's locked to the network of the company that. Oh Jesus. So, which means it's useless. So I rooted around and found a way to get around it. But one of the things I was thinking about is that if I couldn't get around it, I was just going to load it to Linux. And I had like 6 tabs open. Because I've used Linux before. I've had one of my contracts, I had a dual boot. Yeah. I actually had, on one company I was working on, I had a Linux laptop, a Mac laptop, and the PC was Linux and Windows dual boot. So I had a Windows 10 laptop and a Linux Ubuntu laptop on the same one, depending on which project on that client I was working on. And then they moved me over to a Mac project. So, of course, I, had a Mac. So on any given day, I could be switching between the 3 OSs. And I didn't mind. It's all good in my world. I was using standard Ubuntu. This time I was actually looking at the other ones. I was looking for one that was more Windows-like, because I found the other ones to be really annoying. In their sort of Windows-like or sort of Mac-like designs. I was like, don't be like something else or be exactly like that something else. I don't mind a copycat. So there was one of them, I think it was Cinnamon, because it behaves just like Windows. Oh yeah, they are decent. I mean, all the Linux OSs are decent. And the really funny thing is that the more I got to know about the Mac, especially in a dev environment, is that Mac was really just a Unix kernel. And if you treated Mac as a Unix box and just basically spent your day in the console, then you were fine. Which I found pretty funny because I mean I've used DOS since DOS 2.1, so yeah, Mac is, you think differently in a Mac, and it's great for people who have that functionality. It works really well. I don't get into those, oh, this is Mac or PC. I look at it as, what's the functionality? Macs have the necessary functionality for people who are object-oriented versus task-oriented. It works well for them. Now, mind you, that doesn't mean I've always been that way. I used to be I used to use OS2. I was a big fan of IBM's OS2. I won awards because of the stuff I used to do with that thing. We had 16,000 PCs running OS2, and second level support was 6 people, including the team lead. I did the remote software support for them. 367 server pairs. Stuff just worked. When I had a consulting business, I would consult. I would do computer support for people that had small businesses like doctors and lawyers and dentists and things of that nature. And I would set up their computers when antivirus wasn't built into the OS. I would set up their computers to get their antivirus software. And what most consultants at that time did was they would make it so that it would tell them that they needed to get themselves an update. Really? I've got 2 copies of this in here? Sorry. And what I did is first, I wrote them instructions on how to do the Windows, the virus update. Save them a $50 service call every month when a new virus update would come out. But I had several clients that were like, I don't want to be a computer expert. I'm a lawyer, and I don't want to hire somebody who's a computer expert other than you. So automate it. So I did. I made it so that I didn't have to go there and they didn't have to do anything. But to my peers and friends and the guy I eventually sold the business to, that was criminal. I was leaving money on the table. But that's not my philosophy. And I had no shortage of customers, and I didn't advertise. And I've done that. Zoe, that's essentially what I've done at the companies I've been fired from, is that I automated things to the point. And I remember a conversation at Ford Credit I had with a director or whatever Pat was. And I said to her, we were having one of those skip level meetings. And I was relatively new to working with her. And she asked what I did, and I explained that I said, basically, I try to automate myself out of a job, which, is kind of nervous because I don't want to be unemployed. And she goes, oh, believe you me, if you can automate things and save me headcount, you'll never be out of a job, because I always am going to have departments that need to be optimized. So that's what I did. So I think I am criminally negligent on the number of trains I need, but now I have a formula to go against them. I am really concerned that I am overloading this network here, and that I did not leave myself room to expand in these green circuits. I did a bad thing here, and this is going to be a choke point for me, and I'm probably going to have to move at least one of these green circuits somewhere else. And it's not like I can just squeeze something in here even though it fits because the intersection's in the way. It's likely it's going to have to go somewhere over here. What I might do is put one of the green circuits here and put one of the coppers. Can I do 2 of them here? Because I got a copper down here in a stupid spot. Because not many down here need copper cable. I put copper cable here because it's close to the copper, but it creates traffic jams. So if I put a green circuit here, then I've got copper and green circuit just like I do over there. Or I could put the green circuit here because that's one less travel hop. And then I put the copper here and the green circuit here. So in theory, this will go here. And then this would go here. And it would fit. Of course, the question is whether I need to go there or whether I come down here, which is probably the smarter move. Of course, the other question is whether I move to my more newer layouts. Because this is my current layout, which is more modern than these. Might not fit. Yeah, it fits. I can't flip them, so. I am getting some really good traction on my YouTube, which is quite nice. I've been posting VOD snippets, VOD cuts from this stream. And I have a good number of subscribers, 250 or something like that. I just love it. It's great to know that I'm getting more reach. Not that reach. So what am I doing here? I'm moving a green circuits to here where it means absolutely nothing. But the reason I'm doing it is because there's so much traffic in this intersection for having these 4 green circuits together that they can't get in or out efficiently. So what I'm thinking of doing is going, I don't think I can put a copper here. No, it's a little too tall, I think. Well, no. Yeah, it's the same height. All right. Copper cable, green circuit. I don't really want to do that though. Need to get these out of here, but I don't want to move them way up here where nobody's using them. I intentionally didn't talk during that song. I hope you enjoyed it. So I'm thinking of restructuring this. I'm also thinking of turning research back on. And I'm still not clear as to whether or not I need 10K or 20K. All right, once again, I think that's all of the double stackers satisfied. All right. One of the things I could do is move one of these blues up to where these greens are. So I could put a copper here, green, green, blue. How many coppers do I need to support this green? I need 92,000 copper a minute. So you need to be 34 to properly support that. So it's not quite 1 to 1. Wonder if I get that problem over here. Yeah, I do. Short by 2. Not much I can do about that. So there's a copper cable right there. Yeah, Zoe, I just don't have I mean, I would have to add 2 smelters to this array, which is impossible for me to do. Not 2 smelters, 2 assemblers to this array. I would have to add a whole row, which is also impossible because I don't have the belt bandwidth to get another one out. That's why there's 2 loaders here. I smashed too much in here trying to be cute. And I'm not really all that motivated to go and tear stuff down and build it up again. So if I put a copper cable here, well, actually this is copper right there. So I could put a copper cable right here. I should put 2 copper cables here, copper cable here, and leave these as green circuits. Replace this with a green circuit. What am I trying to do with all that? Am I trying to just head off a future problem where things don't happen because they don't get deliveries? What's the value in doing that? So let's go over and take a look at research. Make sure that I've got my research correct. Oops. So we'll duplicate the calculator. We'll change it to be... Oh yeah, it was this monster. Red Science with 80 factories. I know this is clobbering some stuff on the screen, but it's going to get much worse. So the magic number here is 10,752 with 80 factories. Now I'm going to duplicate these out to do them individually. And then I'm going to combine them into one massive thing. So this is 96 green circuit, or green factories. And what I'm looking to do here is to tell me how many trains I need for each one based on what I learned yesterday, excuse me, about train quantities. So basically, if something is more than 25,000, then it needs an additional train. Or another way to look at it is that for every 25,000, I need a train. Right, so it comes down to resources consumed, and I've got a spreadsheet open that you can't quite see right now. Thank you, it's a... Copper plate, iron plate. So the things that mattered over there, I'm fiddling on another spreadsheet right now.